radio hosting team around Australia and surrounding countries, bringing you the best of Australian and international pro wrestling. This is Covering the Canvas.
88.9 Wood FM. This is Covering the Canvas, back on a Monday night. New time slot, primetime radio.
Monday Night Wars.
One time. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
That almost ended badly.
And good night, folks.
It is good to be back, fellas.
It's alright.
Yeah, not too bad.
What was that intro?
You did it. It was really good. It actually sounded a lot better on my computer. Don't call me out on the first show back.
He is.
Tonight on the show we do have Dowie James.
I didn't know if you wanted me to say my name or not. You just pointed at
Okay,
me.
well,
Stop for a minute.
tonight on the show we do have
Dowie James.
Champagne Pyro Dowie James. Also, the return of a dead co-host.
Norris didn't die.
You're looking pretty good for a dead guy, Mr. Hawkins.
Yeah, well, you know.
You've returned from the dead now more times than The Undertaker.
Yeah, and I get booked more. Take that.
The Sean Hawkins streak
Continues. It's almost as good as R.D. Evans. It's like 107-0 now.
Jeez. All right, let's start with some local news. Now that we've been away for a while, how many weeks have we been away?
2 and a bit.
Too many.
So let's start off with OCW. They had an Anzac Day show. Yeah.
Indeed, they did. It
On
was.
Anzac Day.
Yeah.
God.
Cletus defeated Seth Max with Andy Phoenix. Wait, was anyone there?
I was.
Yeah, Sean Hawkins was. Were you dead or alive?
Bit of both. It was Anzac Day, and I had gone to the dawn service, so I was pretty tired at this point.
Pretty rough. Cadman Turner and B-Boy defeated Crackerjack and friend of the show Joel Bateman. Jake Navarro.
Navarra.
Jake.
Welcome
That's
back,
an easy
JP.
name too. Jake Navarro defeated Alexei Papadopoulos.
You get Navarro
Papadopoulos
wrong.
out.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Get Navarro wrong.
Jesus.
And Papadopoulos correct.
How?
Vixen defeated Miami and Nikita Neridian. Did I get that one right?
You did, Jeff.
Chris Taven defeated Josh Shooter. Mad Dog defeated the Mantis, who came down from Queensland.
PWA. Sydney.
And for the main event, Andy Phoenix defeated Chris Mimic Basso.
Not Chris the Mimic, as he was announced there, which kind of got a few boos.
The quotation marks here tell me it's just Mimic.
It is just Mimic, but yeah, I was there. It wasn't too bad of a show. The crowd was smaller, I think, because a big part of the OCW draw is those international guests.
Yep.
That being said, it was still, I'd say, somewhere in the 100 mark. I'm not good with numbers or people, but it was still pretty decent. Most of the card was really good. Josh Shooter's doing some really good comedy stuff at the moment. In the women's match, it was almost a tag versus two individual match, which was pretty funny. The main was really, really good. Chris Mimic Basso is one of the best in Australia and had a really, really good match with Andy Phoenix, which Andy Phoenix won, but yeah.
Good job to the Mimic.
Yeah, the Mimic did okay. Yeah, not too bad of a show, and they announced the next show. I think it's Rob Terry versus Andy Phoenix for the OCW title, which that's a pretty big match for Andy Phoenix. No Australians in that match, but
You can win dinner with him, though.
You can. If you get in and buy your tickets within the next 4 days, I think it is.
I'm hoping to win.
Yeah?
I haven't bought a ticket, but I'm hoping to win. Fingers crossed. You never know.
Last Saturday night, well, not last Saturday night, sorry, the Saturday night just gone, so yeah, last
2 days
Saturday
ago.
night. NWA, I'm all over the place. I've been gone for too long.
NWA.
NAW.
We have been good for a long time. We're catching up on the NWA results.
Spoilers, Horsemen win. That
Alexi
Magnum TA is pretty good.
Oh, bright things in that kid's future.
Alexi
Oh, God, I just read the next week's results.
Alexi Papadopoulos defeated Dallas Summers in a number one contenders match.
Number ones.
Nick Eclipse and Xavier Black defeated Slick Steve and Benny Factor to become the number one contenders to the NAW Tag Team Championships.
And that's a fact.
Vincent Van Ham.
Vincent Van Ham, yeah.
I can't see this. Defeated George Julie. I'll just blame it on that.
It's almost like you should have pre-prepared.
It's community radio.
Almost like we should have planned for that.
Heaven forbid he actually do something.
What a coincidence. I seem to get that all the time. Andy Rhodes defeated Fox via disqualification in a no count-outs match. So what does that mean?
It means they just hit each other with an esky for about 10 minutes.
Oh. Shouldn't it be called then and hit each other with a Nesky?
Oh, I don't name the matches. I just...
They couldn't fit that on the poster. Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. Minzy Montana defeated Kira Summers to retain her title. Jake Lindo defeated Josh Shooter to retain his title. And Jake Navarro defeated JXT and Steve Valek to win the NAW Heavyweight Championship.
No more reign of Steve Valek. Interesting.
Yeah, the crowd were pretty excited about that because it's been a kind of point of contention for a while that Steve Valek has kind of been a non-fighting champion, so all of the people there were a little excited that he's down, but of course Jake Navarro, being a hometown guy, kind of flipped everyone the bird and left. Luckily, hometown hero and friend of the show, JXT, stood tall at the end, and it's going to a cage in June. I think June 7th in Albion.
Oh, yes, I think the next event is all cage matches.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Again,
Yes,
they did that once before.
they did.
It was called Hell in a Cell.
No.
No.
That was terrible. That was terrible. Now that's all the local news. Stay tuned, and after this, we'll be back with the interview with Dowie. Give us a call on 9919-8089. We've had a lot of requests for this song tonight, strange enough. So yeah, give us a call on 9919-8089.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird. The bird's a bird, oh, well, oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word, oh, well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody's talking about the bird, oh, well, the bird, bird. The bird's a bird, oh, well, the bird.
in Australian wrestling, and you are listening to Covering the Canvas on 88.9 Win FM.
Crime Stoppers is now multilingual and serves your community. Crime Stoppers means a safer and better community for all of us if you help by providing crime information. Phone 1800 333 000 with crime details if you are confident using English. Phone 131450 if you want to talk to Crime Stoppers in any other language. You don't have to give your name. Crime Stoppers is not interested in your identity, but is very interested in the information you provide. Please help Crime Stoppers to make Victoria safer.
If you like what you're hearing and want to be a part of Win FM, then the Win FM Training School is for you. We are seeking interested people who have exciting new program ideas which cater for the needs of our local community. Our training courses are designed to prepare you to present your choice of program at Win FM Community Radio. If you are interested in presenting a program, email training@winfm.org.au or contact the Secretary by mail at PO Box 155, Werribee 3030.
This is Josh Shooter trying to make a bit of extra money at the gimmick table, and you're listening to 88.9 Win FM, Sound of the West.
88.9 Win FM. This is Covering the Canvas. I am Jesse Beard, joined by my co-host Shane Hero, Sean Hawking, Steve Bradford, Commissioner Norris, and special guest in the studio tonight, Dowie James.
Hey, thanks for having me. Bringing it up.
No worries. So Dowie, this weekend, Ballroom Brawl, tell us about it.
Oh, okay. So this weekend is Ballroom Brawl, and it's at the Thornbury Theatre. Doors open at some time, I think like 6. Show starts at 7, give or take.
Aussie wrestling.
Aussie wrestling, yeah. 8, 15-ish, yeah.
Might even be next week.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
What's your thoughts on your match?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's me and Brooksy. Such a good... Like, usually I feel like interviewing you. So you've got this show coming up and your match is this. Tell us about it. Not just tell us about it.
What is your match?
Yeah, well, that's asking. All right, so it's myself and Adam Brooks. We're making our first tag team title defense. We're going to be wrestling the Hounds from Hell? Hellhounds? Those ones. Cremator and Tommy Hellfire.
Yep.
I got halfway through and realised I don't remember the tag.
We should probably have run this question by you.
Yeah, this is why I was hoping you'd do the introduction for it. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. It should be really fun. Interesting contrast in styles. It's always a bit harder when, you know, your good guys are the big guys and the bad guys are the smaller ones, because you can't rely on us flipping around and running really fast to get over as the bad team. But it should be a good show, like good crowds usually at Thornbury. I know Brooksy loves to pander to the audience, so that'll be fun for him. Yeah. Good.
That doesn't sound like Brooksy at all.
So let's take it back a few years. What got you started in wrestling?
Just so hard. I barely really remember how I got here, let alone when I was a kid. I used to watch it a bit. I think the first match I ever saw was like Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, and it didn't do much for me, and I didn't care about it for another year or two until Goldberg sort of burst on the scene, and that was like, and it's really what took me by storm. That's what really threw me into wrestling, was WCW at that time, because you had the cruiserweights that were really entertaining, and that was, I mean, my problem with the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match I watched years prior was there was just so much banter, and I don't remember much, but I vividly remember Shawn Michaels doing his whole shtick where he's laying across the top ropes that Eddie did a few years later and stuff, and lots of stalling and not getting in the ring, and just thinking it was so boring. And then, you know, you flick over to WCW and it's just action-packed. It's guys like Malenko and Hoovy and stuff, and they're doing things, landing on their heads and doing flips. It was crazy. It was non-stop.
I'm so glad you never got to the last hour of my show. Like, you just never
well, this is why I feel like it's ironic, because I hated that Shawn Michaels Undertaker match, but what really took me with WCW was Goldberg. It's like a 10-minute walk to the ring every night, and that was like when I was most jazzed, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna do it, and like a 5-second match, and I'm like, yeah, he did it. I'm glad I watched for 3 hours just to get to this point.
That move, that one move that he does, yes.
Yeah, but that's really what got me into it. And then I guess as I got older and matured and stuff, my focus shifted rather towards sort of your technical grappling and your Bret Harts and Chris Benoit's and
Mark Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry's and Scott Steiner's. But I'll always have a soft spot for that, like, you know, your 400-pound guys that can't really wrestle, but they're larger than life. And that's, I mean, when I was into wrestling as a kid especially, it was the closest to comic books I could get in live action. Like, it was before, like, all the movies now. So, you know, there's a good guy and there's a bad guy, and especially at WCW, because, I mean, WWF, it was always... like, there was always gimmicks attached. There was always, like, the plumber or the garbage man. I'm like, why is this guy wrestling? Like, what does he can? Even
because he's got a pet bird on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's
like, I never
self-explanatory.
got the appeal of that sort of gimmick. Like, I never got the appeal of even Taker and things. Like, if this guy's this undead zombie, why does he want to pin someone for a 3 count and stuff? Whereas WCW, like, a lot of the bulk of the show was they, you know, you got your characters and the flock and stuff that I could never pull myself into. But it was a lot of just wrestlers on there, and just, you know, like, I see why they're competing, because they're athletes, and some of them have a bit of an ego about them, like Flair, and they build off of that. They're not like, this is my profession, and I'm here for Monday Night Nitro and stuff. But
look at me, I'm a matador.
but it takes something like the fanfare, like guys like Goldberg, they came out and he didn't do anything, but just so you stand him next to a regular guy and he's so big and he's so like, he doesn't seem like a normal person. He seems like a superhero. And NWO, they were like the villains, you know, trying to take over every week, and Goldberg was spoiling their plans, and in between you had some fast matches. I guess.
I think we're all happy that they've moved on from stupid gimmicks like matadors.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's a really good example of how wrestling is really moved on.
So, you know, like, I'll always look at a guy like like Mark Henry or Scott Steiner or even Rob Terry, like I get caught up in that a bit because I look at him and I go, yeah, that's what a wrestler looks like, and I can forgive that they can't really wrestle for about 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and if the matches go any longer than that,
hey, well, you can have dinner with him.
Yeah, well,
as we mentioned,
I'd just gush uncontrollably. I just sort of giggle at him and make him feel uncomfortable for about an hour while he eats.
All right, let's talk about where did you start training?
I started at PCW. They had a training centre. I went to a show. I was like 13, maybe 12. I went to a show, and like the main event was Spike Steele and Lobo, and it was just mind blowing, like the level of wrestling they were at. And looking back on it, it was probably terrible. Like the show as a whole, like don't get me wrong, Spike Steele sucks. No, like the show as a whole was probably not very good. And speaking, because I remember seeing Mike Burr, Fox wrestle on that show, and like I came in and like these guys are established guys, and like growing up and knowing Mike now, and that was like his first match, like that I saw. But in my mind, he's been wrestling for years before I saw him.
It's like Australian Skull.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. The Spike Steele Lobo matches were like they were really good. They did a ladder match, and then I think the second show I went to was the cage match. And they like really stood out, and people still talk about him and bring him up like he's a huge deal and stuff. It's the first time that I guess I missed a lot of early PCW. I hear horror stories, but like, the community centre is such a big venue, and they had so many people leading up to the Carnage show, and it just really took me in. So they had an advertisement for a wrestling school just during the intermission, and we went down at like 12, and I was too young. And then apparently at like 13, I was not too young, and they will take my money and teach me how to be a wrestler. So that's where I sort of got my start. I trained down there. I did a few shows down that way, like the house shows and stuff. I never wrestled on a PCW main show, and it's probably like the most insulting thing to have ever happened to me in my whole career. I still get dirty. It's like 10 years on now, and I still get so dirty thinking about I've never been on. They're still running shows. They still won't have me on.
You amateur.
Yeah, I know. It really upsets me. Really, just does my head in thinking about it.
They're up to 99 slams now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've done the slams. I did the house shows. I did
have progressed onto their main shows.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And there was the story behind it was at the time, like I was training down there, and the whole mutiny to PWA happened where Lobo upped and left, and everyone established upped and left, and I was still only like 13 or 14, and I was like still only 13 or 14, and I said to Ken, I want to go to wrestling training at George Julio, like at his school. I don't know what's going on here. There's lots of it's throwing me off. Tell a story, people waving their hands around. Yeah,
George's was like the second.
That's what everyone talks about. Like everyone talked about starting there, and Spike started there, and Lobo started there, and this is where everyone started. So one time, Cremator, who was training at PCW, pulled me aside, and he's like, "Hey, you're not going to get much more from here. Everyone's left. Like you're just training with people who come after you. Come down to George's, check it out. I think you'll really like it." And I mean, I'd been down to the meeting that happened about PWA and all of that sort of thing, and I'd spoken to some guys, and they didn't have a school yet, and I thought, well, if this is where they're all going, I definitely want to go. And I spoke to Ken because I was really the guy that runs PCW. I was really, I don't want to rub you the wrong way, but this is where I want to go to training. I still love doing the shows and the slam shows. I think I was like a slam champion at the time. It was a big responsibility. I didn't want to let him I don't want to lose that champion's paycheck. And I'm like, is it okay if I go to train there? Cremator's invited me, and Ken has gone, yeah, no worries, go nuts, do what you want. Like that's if you want to get better, that's the place to go. And agreed with me 100%. And he booked me to be on my first main show because they were out of stars. Everyone had left against Brave Dave. And I trained with George for like a month. And the week of the show, Ken went, we're not going to put you on. We're going to put, I think it was Adrenaline, because he brings more friends and family to the show than you do. And he's been training with us. And I said, but I ran the training by you. And he said, yeah, but we've got one spot on the show, and I'm not going to give it to the guy that's given his money elsewhere. And I'm like, but aren't you paying the guy that's on the show? So they're just paying to be on in that respect. And from there, I just gave up. I said, well, no worries. I see how this is, and moved on. And then, a few people have jumped back since the bad blood sort of boiled over between the two groups, and everyone grew up a bit, and have done shows, but I've never been asked. It's really, really bothers me. Thanks for bringing that up, Jeff.
So now, there's a little rumour that you were once managed by one of our co-hosts. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Norris.
How was that?
Yeah, okay. A little rumour. He's wearing the t-shirt.
Who started this rumor?
Very nostalgic. In all honesty, my stuff with Shane, because, I mean, I've wrestled... countless years and places, and I don't remember. I couldn't list off all my matches or places I've been. And I've done... I love working in a team dynamic more than on my own. Like I like having people to bounce off of out there and managers and in all honesty, I've probably had more managers than anyone, and I've never needed it because none of them have done the talking for me or sort of added anything that I couldn't have added myself to the character. But I like having that extra dimension to bounce off of, especially as a bad guy. It's really important. And the stuff with Shane's easily my favourite that I've ever done. Like through our stuff at Ballarat, I still rattle that off. Like people always tell me my match with Cletus at that reunion show. They're like, if I speak to anyone and so you like my wrestling, what do you like? That's the match. Like, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match at Ballarat, and let me tell you, it was a lot better. We had Shane and Jacko on the outside, and, that stuff, and the rock and wrestling stuff as well. Like I'd always. That's easily... I mean, I've gotten the team with a lot of great people like Peterson and Brooksy now and Enforcer at the moment and stuff. But I was always upset we only ever got to wrestle in that tiny little ring, and it was my favourite team we've ever done, and our matches were terrible. Because
they were horrible.
Because who likes me, I'd land out of the ring. So it was lots of... And that's probably why it was my favourite, because we spent the whole match just doing comedy pretty much in a ring and not accomplishing much of a wrestling match. But
there was no point trying to wrestle because if you ran the ropes, you were already on the other side of the ring.
So what you're basically saying is your matches became Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've gone through. I mean, when I started, a lot of my matches were really character based, and then when I sort of moved on and PWA went down and I was wrestling, I guess Queensland would have been the most, but I was just doing like Sydney and Queensland alternatively and not really doing much in Melbourne. I wrestled a lot more, and we did that. It was about the time the PWA reunion show, so I dropped character stuff and I just tried to be as true to sort of, I guess, indie wrestling as you could possibly be. Yeah. And now I've sort of circled around and I miss all that character stuff, and I was, why am I killing myself? I should just do what Mark Henry does and bend frying pans and not fall over because it doesn't hurt as much. But yeah, no, it was easily the most fun I've had with, yourself, Shane. I'm pointing at you. They can't see me pointing at you. This guy right here. Yeah, it was so much fun. No boundaries. I think we're pretty in sync with what we like and sense of humour. So it's not like with Brooksy now where I have an idea and he's no, my character's more serious than that. I was pitching to him, we should do for the Loose and the Reckless, we should do all our promos like soap operas. So I'm talking at the back of his head and he's looking at the camera and, everyone just walks off before they finish the sentence. And then one time we could just open, as this week the role of Adam Brooks will be played by Carlo Cannon. And it's just Carlo dressed as you doing the thing with me. And he just won't have a bar of it. Because I'm too serious for that sort of thing. Shane would do it.
Terrible matches.
Give us a call on 9919 8089. Stay tuned. After this, we'll be back with more interview.
About this life we live, and let me try to swerve some of this attention you give to them distant ass relatives over Hampton. And if they really missed you so much, why don't they just call it? If you wasn't blood, would you still have love? Or in fact, does the blood make you think you have to love? Look, I probably love my family more than anybody here, but my homies are family too. Third cousins, get out of here. Who was you with when you got...
Yes, the wrestling fans, this is Alexi Papadopoulos, and you're listening to Covering the Canvas on 88.9 Win FM. Opa.
Incoming SMS alert.
Where are you? This party is awesome. Hurry.
On my way in stupid traffic. Hashtag FOMO. Send.
Message fail.
Send the message, stupid phone.
Who's the stupid one? You're driving and texting.
I just wanted to send a message.
You're risking the safety of road users. Do you want to hurt someone?
Get the message. Say no to FOMO. Don't text and drive.
Want to listen to the great programs on Win FM but don't have access to a radio? Win FM is now streaming live online. Head to www.winfm.org.au and follow the links to listen to your favourite programs from any computer in the world. Spread the word and tell your friends from around the globe about the sound of the West. WinFM, now streaming online at www.winfm.org.au.
Hey, this is Kellyanne and you're listening to Covering the Canvas on 88.9 Win FM.
I'm the wrestling king, but now I'm spitting lyrics. Took a break from the ring, cause I want you all to hear this. Coming in a medium, nobody expected. Been in the game for years and I'm still respected. Macho Man, Randy Savage, the true deep warrior. Critics, I'm ignoring ya, cause ladies, it's euphoria. People in the streets say, Randy, you the illest. You're one of the realest, so it's not hard to feel this. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. I'm back with vengeance and got good chemistry. Me and Big 3 about to shock the whole industry. You can't believe Macho Man's really rapping. Hooked up with the Rascals, we made this thing happen. Hit the studio to get paid in full, and I can make power moves, I got a lot of pull. Every time I'm in the streets, people still show love. They wanna know what's going on, they wanna know what's up. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. I'm back on the block, but the products change. But the passion I possess still remains the same. I switched the game, I'm on a different plane. The first wrestling MC will be my claim to fame. I'm like Diambo and Mike, I can play two sports. And in both arenas, I'm a tremendous force. Cause when I fight or rip the mic, I ain't taking no slack. Back, I got the knack to entertain, so I'm back. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. People wanna know if Macho's still in the ring. People wanna know if Randy's doing his thing. Everybody's talking, wanna know this and that. So I'ma tell you right now, Randy Savage is back. Yeah, Macho Man, Randy Savage back at ya. Got the Rascals in the house. Big K, Brian O, Ted, Romy Rome, and Ooh Jizzle. Shout out Derek on the boards. Tommy Jizzle and Pinky. And I can't forget the Master of Disaster, the incredible Bill Edwards, and the entire Big 3 crew. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is JXT, one half of the coolest tag team in professional wrestling, the XWO, the Extreme World Order, and you're listening to Covering the Canvas.
Folks, you can smell these guys from a mile away. Unless you're downwind, then you can smell them from a couple of miles away. They are the members of the West Texas Rednecks. They are Bobby Duncombe Jr., Kendall and Barry Windham, and ringleader, the leader of the pack, Kurt Hennig.
Well, let me ask you this. How many people just hate rap music? You know, we got a brand new song here we're going to whip on you. It's called Rap is Crap, and it go like this right here. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
I like country music. I love country girls. I like Willie Nelson. And don't forget about Merle. There's only one thing that I hate, 'cause it's a bunch of crap. I hate rap. I like NASCAR racing. Richard Petty's still the king. Yeah, they call me a redneck, but you know that's a beautiful thing. There's only one thing that I hate, 'cause it's a bunch of crap. I hate rap. There's only one thing that I hate,
88.9 Win FM. This is Covering the Canvas with myself, Shane Hero, Steve Bradford, Sean Hawkins, Commissioner Norris.
There's no G, you idiots.
And special in-house guest tonight, Dowie James. Now, Dowie,
Yes.
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
This has turned into a performance.
Rein it in. 5 minutes.
How do you... I was going to add to the joke, but it didn't work. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, good. Am I really meant to answer?
Yeah,
I thought you said it was a joke. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. I don't think about it. I've got sort of a long-term plan as far as the end of the week. And
where do you see yourself at the end of the week?
Do you see yourself winning any more championships?
I don't know. I don't really plan for the future and stuff, which is terrible. But in terms of wrestling, like, I just worry about what I'm doing right now. My stuff with Brooksy, my stuff with Enforcer, like, I'm not sort of, I don't have a long-term plan because I learned long ago that there's no point sort of planning for this stuff. I will get in my head what I'm going to do over the next 3 months or year or something, and it'll just get derailed. Like, bookers change plans, shows get cancelled. I mean, the latest thing was I was doing the MCW thing with the anti-authority, and I had to take 6 months off because I had to have back surgery again. So I don't really get myself hyped up for a year ahead or 5 years ahead, because for all I know, next week I'm going to be crippled in a bed for the rest of my life.
Let's go to some international news. International news stopped abruptly right there. What do we got first?
JTG not still employed?
We were checking out the Twitter account today. It was 6 years or something, and it was down to the minute.
There was a rumoured sighting of him.
Rumoured sighting? How do we do... Rumoured?
Rumoured. People thought that JTG was one of Adam Rose's rosebuds.
Yep.
Was false.
We now understand
confirm.
it's been confirmed that it wasn't.
It wasn't JTG. It was not a JTG
Sorry,
sighting.
Jesse. I know that's devastating to your ears.
I was very excited. Other international news. WWE rehires Sakamoto. Will Kenta be involved?
And what moves? Daniel Bryan's got the knee. The GTS is with Punk. They've taken all of Kenta's coolest moves. No, they've rehired Sakamoto because I think they're going to probably do something with Tensai again, or Yoshitatsu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's a good point. The article I'm reading here, it's a dirt sheet though, so it's probably wrong, saying they could use Sakamoto as a translator, but...
Kenta did do a press conference and say that he was leaving Noah, and saying that it was the beginning of a new chapter, but that could just mean he's going to New Japan, or he's going to TNA. Like, until... insert incredibly racist name here... enters WWE TV.
So
Don't hold your breath.
top Japanese star has been signed by WWE. Look forward to him on sporadic main event episodes in about 3 months' time. SmackDown if he's lucky.
Drake Younger, indie wrestler, worked CZW, WXW, IWA. Very famous for his deathmatch wrestling. Worked last night's WWE NXT live event in Orlando, Florida. He worked the event as a referee. Even though he's an independent wrestler, there have been rumors he was only signed to WWE to work as a referee only. Thoughts? He can't really... He can... He's a good wrestler, but like he can't... He's known for his deathmatch stuff. And that's what people want to see him do. And of course, there's no room for that in WWE.
Didn't
this is almost not... I'm sorry, this is almost non-news, because really... Drake Younger he was never like a top guy in the independents. He was a guy that killed himself in Tournament of Deaths and had a couple of decent matches in PWG. But for people to get all kind of, oh my God, he's going to the WWE and he's only being used as a ref, really is kind of the internet being butthurt over not much.
That's exactly how I sounded, actually. I was like, God, he's such a good talent. They're just wasting him.
He should be world champion.
The role of the internet tonight will be played by Jesse Beard.
However, didn't someone else also have a match in NXT?
No. Well, they did, but it hasn't been televised yet.
All
reports were on.
We all got hyped up because Buddy Murphy was supposed to... Everyone was led to believe that he was going to debut on
Buddy
NXT
Murphy,
last week.
almost Australian as Luke Gallows.
Almost. But we now understand it's next week.
Okay, I should
Or
probably
this
read
week,
more
we
stuff.
should
I
say.
thought he had. There we go.
You need to
the
read
international
stuff, Shane.
non-news segment continues. I'll just keep quiet.
But El Local debuted, a.k.a. Ricardo Rodriguez in a mask.
Ooh.
So, good to see he's doing something.
Where was this?
On NXT last week.
Ah.
El Local and Callisto.
Well, that's actually pretty awesome. I do like him.
It's really good because he's actually pretty decent when he's not wearing tie-dyed shirts and saying Rob Van Dam's a good wrestler.
He's done some SmackDowns though, hasn't he? Like, yeah.
Like dark
Previously.
matches and stuff?
No, but I swear I've seen him on SmackDown like wrestle an actual match because I wouldn't have known if it was a dark match. I don't read things, so I must have seen him show up on my TV.
But I've seen him on NXT before.
Yeah.
It was months ago, wrestling as that character in a mask. Because somebody pointed out to me that it was him, and I didn't have a clue. So
Smith Hart posted on his Twitter account, David Benoit, Chris Benoit's son, will make his in-ring debut. I can... On July the 18th in Calgary for Hart Legacy Wrestling, tagging with Chavo Guerrero.
Is that the end of your news segment? No, I mean, because there's a lot more to that story. Can I jump in?
Yeah,
Or
of
do you have
course.
more?
Yeah, no, go
okay,
ahead.
that's like during the week. Apparently, David has it. I don't know. Again, this is just stuff my housemates told me from reading. I don't read anything. So
reliable source.
Yeah. Feel free to get the Twitters up.
Second-hand news with Dowie J.
Yeah.
I'll verify this with Wikipedia.
Surely it carries as much weight as any of the dirt sheets arguments do, right? Housemate's pretty switched on. He wasn't that drunk at the time, but I was reading that apparently Jericho was unhappy about...
Yeah, I read that too.
But that's been pulled. He's not wrestling anymore.
Oh, he's not?
No, the whole match is off. So Chavo's off the show. David's off the show. Someone else pulled out of the show that was involved, like someone Canadian that was a bigger name. So
It's disappointing.
3 people in the match have pulled out because the training wasn't sufficient or something like that. So it was a big thing because apparently he made his first comment today, Smith Hart, since it's been a week since it got cancelled, and a few people went on Twitter and jumped on and sort of voiced their disapproval of what was going on and the lack of training or the sort of the way they were trying to capitalise on the Benoit name, Jericho included. And today, the only reason I know about this is apparently today is the first time he said anything about the cancellation. So that's why I was waiting for you to bring that tweet up. I thought it would be up-to-date news.
So again, the only story in this segment.
This news is from 2 weeks ago. It was what was going to be on the show.
we're still playing catch-up,
So
obviously.
I think the key thing is, though, it was obviously the Hearts trying to capitalise on it's Benoit and Guerrero, just not the ones you wanted. But the first... I'm sorry. Does anybody want to see Chavo?
I do. I really like Chavo. I really
a
find him
fan.
entertaining. I haven't watched much of his recent stuff, but even like the end of his WWE and the very few things I've seen at TNA, like I really enjoyed it. I actually don't know why people want to see Eddie Guerrero. I've always thought he was slower and not as entertaining as Chavo. Chavo was... I always found his matches to be a lot more fast-paced, especially early on when they were both in WCW. He always had the... I thought he had more charisma, like he did that comedic gimmick with the horse
The
and
peppy
stuff, but then he was always sort of doing like the angry younger sibling sort of gimmick and stuff, and Eddie was just coming out being stereotypical Mexican, going, "Hey, that's cool, Holmes." Like, I never really understood the whole appeal about Eddie, and I really enjoyed Chavo as a wrestler, so I find it the other way. This is the match I wanted to see, just from Benoit.
The first thing that kid needs to do is change his name.
Yeah.
Because, Benoit.
Just makes it a bit awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't have good
Well,
feelings.
what happens there? Like, again, I don't know much about anything, but I'm a huge Benoit fan, like huge, and I've never break the studio some more. I've never understood the whole like emotional attachment to people you've never met. Like when I remember being at like a super show and the people heard out like an Australian wrestling super show, and there was a big group of us, and someone came out and mentioned that Eddie had been found passed away and stuff, and people were visibly upset. They're like, "Oh my god!" And I never got that. I don't know him and stuff. Like Benoit, I feel dirty saying his name. Like when I tell like casual fans, like, "So who's your favorite wrestler?" "Oh, Chris Benoit." "Oh, that guy." Like I know, is that okay? But I never, like, I'm not really outraged at what happened because I don't know him. I don't know his family. I don't know if he was abusive all the time or if he wasn't. I just led to believe he wasn't, but I have no idea. But let's say David Benoit, he comes out, even if he changes his name, you know, he might be a great worker. You know, does he get a job? Does he get a job because he's been in tragic circumstances? Do they never reference that? Like, do they do it as an overcoming story? You know, I had a terrible childhood and now look at me, I'm WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Like, Does
WWE look bad if they put Benoit's name across a t-shirt and sell it and make money off it?
Exactly. Like, and if they, like, even if you change your name, like, people know. Like, Bray Wyatt comes out and he still gets Husky Harris chance. People are going to know. The kid, I feel like, should probably just get into a different line of work. Like,
there's a bit of a stigma in
there. Like, I mean, my dad...
Your dad almost ruined wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. My dad was a police officer, and if at the end of his like lifetime they turn around and go, "Your dad was the dirtiest police officer we've ever seen."
Don't join the police force.
I would never join the police force. I wouldn't go, "Oh, well, when's recruitment camp?"
I'll just change my last name.
Please tell me he's got enough sense to use a different finishing move. Can you just imagine him out there? Here's a move my dad taught me. Oh my god.
What, the text message to Chavo Guerrero? The dogs are in the sideboard and the gate's not locked.
Walking into the gym and he's on the Bowflex. Oh, it's just awkward for everyone.
Give us a call on 99198089. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
In the world, so people of the world have no real great Texas. Try funky here. You're so strong, you are the power. Larry, you're so great, you are my dream.
He'll fight them every day. Fight them anywhere. He's gonna beat them all the time.
There is no one I fear.
Big biceps in his arms and hard tendons in his legs, muscles in his thighs for days.
Stomach's hard as a rock. Sometimes I feel so sad. People think I'm so mean. My heart is soft and sweet, but I'm still a fighting machine.
Terry Funk!
Yeah, that's me.
Just as mean and tough as he can be. Other wrestlers fear his name.
The burning flame.
Listen up for the best part.
I'm really sweet with a warm, kind heart. But when I'm doing it in the rain, I'm a fighting machine.
your being. We miss you so much. We want to see you again in the lane of the fighting machine. Terry Funk!
Yeah.
Yo, 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 this is your boy, JTG, and you are listening to Covering the Canvas on 88.9 Win FM.
88.9 Win FM subscribes to the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice. These codes outline standards relating to program content, Australian music and sponsorship. They also outline the principles of diversity and volunteerism for community broadcasting. If you have a complaint regarding something you've heard on this station, you should put your complaint in writing and send it to PO Box 155, Werribee 3030. If you would like a copy of the Codes of Practice, email winfm@winfm.org.au or phone 99198089. 88.9 Win FM, the sound of the West, and a proud community broadcaster.
I might not drive yet, but that doesn't mean I'm not concerned about speeding. I mean, a speeding driver is not just a danger to themselves. I'll bet that a fair percentage of the 287 people killed in road accidents last year, and lots of those who were injured, were passengers. As if it's not bad enough to kill or injure yourself, don't do it to someone else as well.
Sit back, open up a coldie, because you're listening to 88.9 Win FM, the sound of the West. And I am Andy Rhodes, the Australian Dream.
We likes to party, la-di-da-di-da-di. We likes to party, la-di-da-di-da-di. We likes to party. You gotta get up to get down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rock it like hell, make it sound like heaven. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, everybody, let's have some fun. Everybody, just throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Because PPE is here. If there's a table in the building anywhere, we're gonna put somebody there. Everybody in the house say hey, hey, say ho, ho, and we won't stop rocking till we reach the top. La-di-da-di-da-di, we likes to party. La-di-da-di-da-di, we likes to party. La-di-da-di-da-di, we likes to party. You gotta get up to get down. Na-na-na-na-na, 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 na-na-na-na-na-na-na. TPE, peace, we're out of here.
88.9 Win FM. This is Covering the Canvas. That was off the WCW Christmas Brawl album, We Like to Party. Sean.
Which you can find for 99 cents.
So I
Take the floor.
some breaking news that isn't Benny Factor.
We see what you did there.
That's a funny joke for some people. So GPW 17's coming up in a couple of weeks in, I think it's next, the Warrigal in not this Saturday coming, not next Saturday coming, the 24th. I can announce 2 matches, so it's an exclusive. Exclusive. That's our awesome exclusive sound effect there.
Better than the international one.
Exactly. Less racist too. So the big thing is the Gippsland Cup is coming back. Can announce 2 first-round matches. We've got Turbo Wolverine versus Lynx Lewis Jr., both from Queensland, and Jake Navarro versus Fox, not Mike Burr.
No. Can I ask who's responsible for GPW?
There's a few people.
Okay, you tell them I haven't been on one of those shows. Well,
I'll be sure to let them know. My people will speak to your people. Breaking news: we might be getting Dowie James at GPW.
You heard it here first on Covering the Canvas. Now,
I hope
Sean.
someone from PCW calls in right now.
A bidding war has erupted.
Guys, the number is 9919-8089.
The hottest free agent in Victorian wrestling.
That's how I get all my bookings. I get people cornered in a room and make them feel uncomfortable. I'm not extending me an offer.
Sean, you want to talk about some international news as well?
Which one? There's like a lot. Like, there's the world, Jesse.
Whatever you can fit in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Saw the Shikara movie. Ashes of Shikara.
What was it like?
Wasn't too bad if you've seen the YouTube videos. It's that, but with a little bit more stuff from National Pro Wrestling Day, which was actually pretty cool.
You could do a review on it next week on the show.
It's good. 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Well, there you go. Well,
What have you done?
join us in 2 weeks' time because next week's show's just been completed.
Do we want to talk about Global Force?
Yes. Jeff, we do.
Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett's Global Force promotion.
No, Kurt Angle's ex-wife.
Yes. Doing Global Force Wrestling, which...
It even sounds like a made-up name.
It's a Power Rangers show. Power Rangers Global Force Wrestling, coming this summer. They did a fantasy draft where people used the hashtag, I think it was GFWGM, to say
It's just embarrassing.
people that they want at Global Force Wrestling. So
Was Dowie James on that list?
well, I've heard that Global Force Wrestling don't have enough
Can't afford
money.
David.
Yeah, it's understandable.
But yeah, it's
The GPW.
we got that Gippsland money, son. But yeah, look, is that the way things are going?
Well, it's interesting because it's how much merit are they taking out of it? Like, are they going this and then looking seriously and going, well, these are the guys we're going to sign? Or is it more they've
Looks
got
like
a
the
short
fans
list?
want John Cena.
Yeah, or have they got a short list? Like, are they trying to avoid the TNA mistakes of Sting was popular 10 years ago, let's see Sting, you know? Like, if you've got a guy like Rhino that's interested, maybe you see how many times Rhino's name pops up in something like that before you invest money in him and things like that. So if it's just sort of market research for their own investments, then that's not bad. If it's who do you want to see will get them, that's terrible.
and seeing Jeff Jarrett.
Who do you want to see? And we can't get any of them guys. Here's a bunch of other guys.
Hey, everybody like Brian and Adams. Chronic. Anybody?
Who's your favourite member of the Powers of Pain? Because we've probably got him. Maybe.
It's a barbarian.
Are they alive still? If they are, we'll book them.
We've got one-man gang. Maybe Akeem too.
Well, this has been Covering the Canvas. Thank you, Dowie, for coming on. We do appreciate it. We do have a big guest next week. We will reveal that on the Facebook page as soon as we can. Like us on Facebook. Download the podcast. Stay tuned because it's the Open Closet right on 9 o'clock.